Welcome. As you have no doubt guessed, I am Chimera. I'm here to tell you the truth about the Matrix. This is your last chance. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and we see how far the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill, you'll be harder for longer. See a doctor if it lasts more than 4 hours.
I'll be honest, this is not one I'm looking forward to for two reasons. Firstly, the person who nominated this did a 5-page essay at A-level for media studies on one particular scene. I'm not going to be going that deep into it. I'm a simple man who likes films, and so this review is going to be fairly shallow by comparison. The second reason is oversaturation. The Matrix came out in 1999 and I didn't have much of an interest in it, but was surrounded by it for years. Kind of the same issue I had with Titanic, but in fairness, I really enjoyed reviewing that one back in March 2019. Man, I've been doing this for a while now. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Here's my review of The Matrix. Thomas Anderson by day works for a big corporation in their IT department. At night he goes by the alias Neo and is a hacker being sought after by a group headed by Morpheus and Trinity. Trinity contacts Neo through his computer and meets him in real life. She warns him that a group of agents are after him and that her group will be in contact shortly, as Neo feels that the world is not quite right and wants to find out why. The agents do end up capturing and interrogating Neo, but when he refuses to talk, his mouth seals shut and they implant an electronic bug in his belly. Trinity, APOC and Switch retrieve Neo, and after removing the bug in the back of a car, they take him to meet Morpheus, who explains that the world is a computer program called the Matrix. He gives Neo one chance to back out of learning more, but Neo continues and is transported into the real world through a landline phone. Neo wakes up hairless, with wires protruding from his body and in a pod of pink goo surrounded by millions of other people in a similar state. Neo is rescued by Morpheus' team, who live in their ship, the Nebuchadnezzar, trying to wake up humans and rescue them from the artificial intelligence that has now taken over humanity and uses humans that they grow as a power source. The AI's goal is to gain access to the last remaining human city, Zion, and kill all the humans outside of the Matrix. They do this inside the Matrix using agents, sentient versions of the AI, and using robotic sentinels in the real world. As Morpheus teaches this to Neo along with fighting training uploaded straight into his brain, the crew prepare to enter the Matrix once again to speak to the Oracle, a human who sees and predicts all, as well as shielding those able to control the Matrix from the inside. Morpheus believes that Neo is the one, prophesies to free all of mankind. Unfortunately, the Oracle does not agree and Neo leaves disappointed. Before the crew can return though, they're ambushed by agents and the police, as one of the crew, Sci-Fi, has betrayed them. Morpheus gives himself up to help Neo and the rest of the crew escape. Sci-Fi returns to the ship and kills Tank and Dozer, the two overseeing the crew in the Matrix, and unplugs APOC and Switch, killing them inside the computer simulation. Before Sci-Fi is able to unplug Neo, Tank reveals that he did not die, but instead was injured. He kills Sci-Fi and brings Trinity and Neo back to the ship, where they learn that Morpheus is still alive, but the interrogation techniques used by the agents means he's likely going to give up how to access Zion. Neo and Trinity enter the Matrix once more and rescue Morpheus. They even go head to head with the agents, with Neo starting to exhibit more amazing abilities such as dodging bullets. Trinity and Morpheus escape to the real world where the ship is being attacked by Sentinels, but Neo is trapped thanks to the leader of the agents, Agent Smith. Morpheus cannot activate the EMP to defend the ship unless Neo escapes the Matrix or he will die. Neo and Agent Smith fight initially, and after a pursuit for the streets, Neo is eventually gunned down by all three agents. Despite being dead, Neo rises up and stops another wave of bullets fired at him. He then destroys Agent Smith and escapes to the ship, where the EMP gets activated, destroying the Sentinels. The Matrix is a blend of an intelligent sci-fi story and incredible action, recognised by its huge fanbase and its 4 Oscars, spinning off into 3 more sequels and a whole universe of other media. It has influenced pop culture even now, decades later. So why doesn't this film click with me? I love sci-fi films, I love action films, and I think I'd look pretty good in a long trench coat and shades, but for some reason The Matrix doesn't blow me away. I can categorically say that it is a great film, well made, well acted, and well written, but there's something about it I can't quite put my finger on. In what might be a hot take, I don't actually like the soundtrack that much. Marilyn Manson, Rage Against the Machine, Rammstein, as well as a mix of nu metal and very overused late 90s songs such as Club to Death and Spy Break, just don't get me into the film. Music's a big thing for me. A great soundtrack adds an extra layer to my enjoyment of a film. Whilst I'm doling out hot takes, I don't like the ending much either. You've heard me complain about Resurrection before, so I won't start that again, but Trinity declaring her love for Neo after he dies, which brings him back to life, is about as cliche as you can get. Also, Neo in the epilogue can straight up fly. Alright. But to the film's credit, it does have an amazing catch-all excuse for anything that doesn't make sense or is too fantastical. It's The Matrix, a computer program that can be reprogrammed at any time. Once the film explains that, you enjoy the film more. It's the ultimate "a wizard did it." What a wizard can't explain though is why Agent Smith, an artificial intelligence, talks so much. He speaks about liking, disliking, and even describes the smell of the Matrix. Why is an AI describing these things? He shouldn't be pontificating to Morpheus and sending the other agents out of the room. This, however, is the only character I have an issue with, aside from Trinity's declaration of love, of course. Neo's growth is steady throughout, going through a hacker struggling to live his double life, to having godlike powers in the Matrix by the end. Keanu Reeves can do no wrong. No matter what he's in, he's breathtaking.
You're breathtaking!
Carrie-Anne Moss playing Trinity had her career launched by this film, and you know what? She's fine. She's supposed to be monotone, and she certainly delivers that. She drops a prophecy on Neo before she returns to the ship for one last time, given to her by the Oracle. Trinity claims that she would fall in love with the One, and since everyone but Neo was told that he was the One, that's the reason she falls in love with him. It raises an interesting point about whether Trinity loves Neo because she's told to by the Oracle or not, but again, it's a plot point that's not needed in my opinion. I think the main problem I have with The Matrix is how the story and action are supposed to mesh seamlessly, but actually tend to clash. There are large periods of time where exposition is told, and it feels like they interrupt it to do a small action sequence, almost like a contractual obligation. When the story's been told, the action takes over and takes centre stage with small story elements added. It feels like there were two writers who started working on the film together, but fell out during the process and tried to force their ideas to fit together. I am, however, a fairly minor critic at this point, and I can't really argue with the film's success and legacy. It sounds like I'm crapping all over The Matrix, but honestly, there's a lot to like. The story and action may not mesh seamlessly, but both alone are really good. Some of the action sequences are really fun, and the fight choreography is top notch. It's no wonder it was so influential in future films such as Charlie's Angels, X-Men and John Wick, which I still haven't seen, but it is on the list.
Ooh, don't forget you promised you'd watch that one with me. Love John Wick.
That bullet dodge scene is iconic, but I always remember it wrong. Neo dodges most of the bullets, but two still hit him. It kind of takes away from the moment, but it also inspired Trish Stratus's Matrix move, so it's not all bad. As I mentioned earlier, The Matrix also won 4 Oscars: Best Film Editing, Best Sound Effects Editing, and Best Visual Effects, beating Star Wars Episode 1 on 3 out of 4 of those awards. I swear, I'm not marking it down for that. Like I said, The Matrix paved the way for action and sci-fi films for decades to come, and like most successful films, a whole universe of media followed. In 2003, 2 sequels were released, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, and most recently in 2021, The Matrix Resurrections. Without seeing them, is there a reason why all these sequels start with R? There are also 9 short animated movies which combined make up a series called The Animatrix, paying homage to the anime style that inspired the film. There are also a series of comics, quite the rabbit hole indeed. There is so much more to The Matrix than the universe it's created. Unlike a lot of franchises where sequels build worlds that don't necessarily need it, The Matrix is one that could do, and indeed has done, so much. Personally, as much as I admire a lot about The Matrix and the universe it builds, the idea and premise just didn't grab me, and I don't have any intention to check out anything else from the franchise. The Matrix, like the premise itself, is 2 diametrically opposed halves competing with each other, and as such it feels like 2 half movies as opposed to one whole one. The Matrix is a great movie, but I think I'll take the blue pill. Next up for the Film Review Open Challenge is Holmes and Watson, celebrating the 50th Film Review Open Challenge. For now though, thank you very much for watching.